So 2 more solid episodes from that time I got reincarnated as a slime, being episode 13 and 14. What's cool about this review is honestly, it's much action, a lot of action was in it. What's cool about this interview is that a lot of action was in it, but at the same time, there's really not too much to say on the actual episode itself, just more what both episodes imply for the future. So my bad, I'm getting this late to you guys. I'm getting in the flow of school with things, but let's just get straight into the review and get to it and get caught up. Launching this Sunday so I can get right back into it Monday. But with episode 13, the alliance officially happened between the Lizard Man and Rimuru by them catching up, saving the Lizard Girl. That's dope. Also, there was a fight between Gabiru and the actual Orc Lord, who he thought was a general. I thought he was a general for a second, but I'm really glad he wasn't. But what was really cool was the animation between Gabiru, him fighting, spinning around his spear, the effects, the abilities spent. That was really nice. I was pretty impressed by that. And I really like the fact that Gabiru stepped up and fought, challenged him to that one-on-one at that moment, and showed that, even though he didn't win the fight, he fought. It was cool and entertaining to see all of it. That was nice. And we get to episode 14 where Rimuru steps in. Rimuru actually handles the Orc Lord, and I'm going to delve deep into that because they implied a few things to the episode, specifically about Gelman creating a Demon Lord and the purpose of the Orc Lord becoming the Demon Lord. But we'll get to that. So the first thing I want to deal with, even though I think I kind of roasted Gabiru a little bit last episode, literally putting in the title, Gabiru, no, you made the wrong title. You just see me in the back being like, what are you doing? So I honestly thought about it, and let me know how you feel on it, but I think Gabiru wasn't wrong. Like, I put myself in his shoes, and even though his choice was absolutely the wrong choice in that situation, let's think about it. Let's say, your father is being passive and decide to wait on somebody I really don't know or believe in. It's like, I want to protect our people. I'm going to go attack the attack the orc. I'm going to go attack the orcs because I'm confident we could win. We have strategy, we have prowess, and we know what we're doing. The issue with Gaby Was Wrong was his lack of knowledge and information. He realized that by fighting him, but the action he actually took, as wrong as it may look and as dumb as he was for it, it actually, in my opinion, it's like, I see it's stupid choice, but I don't see him as wrong. He did what he did, and he showed himself in battle that he was a leader. He fought. He's not afraid of a challenge. Like, he's not one of those leaders that's like, let my units fight. He's fighting with them, commanding them, looking out for them, worrying about them. And that made Gabiru grow up like a million points in my eyes. Now, granted, do I still think he's dumb? Yes, he's probably dumb. Very dumb. But, I'll use silly. I don't want to call him dumb. I'll use silly. He showed his leadership. He showed his ability to fight. And, he renewed himself in my eyes. How do you feel about Gabiru? I want to know. But I give him props for stepping up. It was pretty funny to see him cry over Lord Gelman. I mean, he was betrayed, but I really don't think he had an amazing relationship with Gelman. I think he was just kind of named and left at that. Even though he called him Lord Gelman. I don't think they're going to highlight any backstory between them. I'd be interested to honestly see, but Gabiru, I'd say he wasn't wrong. What do you feel on him? So another point that I'm going to go to, we're going to go specifically to episode 14, right? Is that I really was not expecting to get a backstory on the Orc Lord as Rimuru was actually devouring him, right? I'm sure you saw that conversation between him and Rimuru. Rimuru was trying to devour him, and he's trying to devour Rimuru, losing. And the Orc Lord's just like, I was going out, I'm paraphrasing, he's like, I was going out to find food for the other orcs. I went to the wasteland, I need to go find help. I was like, yo, this is actually pretty sad. And on his way to go find help to save the other orcs that are starving and himself starving, keyword starving, he falls on the ground and Gelman finds him, gives him a name, and gives him this role, and he's in it. So he's just a guy, he just really was just a good orc, just like, I'm trying to look out for other people. He got put in this situation, named, given this starve ability, he just has this insatiable thirst that he can never quench, and the only way he could do this is to continue to eat and continue to grow and get more powerful and be forced to lead this army. Like, that's unfortunate. Like, I was like legit sad. I was like, yo, like, that's kind of messed up, But the thing is, the reason why I didn't expect this is because, think about it, a few episodes ago, or at least a decent amount, to where he's introduced, all they showed us is that he was running through the desert, or walking through the desert, tired, he falls out, for whatever reason, we don't know, and Gelman actually gets him a name, and that's it. That's all he was shown. We can't really empathize or even sympathize with that. But now that we know more about him, it's like, yo, he's just doing that to look out for his people. Like, they would have starved and died otherwise, you know? So that was like, wow, like, you know, I didn't expect it to make me get feels from the Orc Lord who we've been so scared of and eating, killing people and leading these orcs. So that was really, really, really well done. Props to the creators on that. I like that. The other thing that I'm going to highlight is the conversation between Rimuru and actually Geld, the Orc Lord. I'll get to Demon Lord. That's my next point. I'm kind of diving into it. But between Geld and Rimuru saying, you know, like, we have all these sins, you know, I've sinned so much, I've killed so much, I've done this. Rimuru says, I'll devour that, or I'll eat the sin, or I'll take the sin. However he phrased it, he said he'll take that on for him. He's like, what about the sins of my people? The sins, people that they've killed, the other orcs, the sins, the hunger. Rimuru said, I will devour, I'll take that, however he said it. And the reason I think that's really, like, I guess, not powerful, but it's leading to all my predictions as I continue to talk. I'm kind of spoiling what I want to predict for the future. But the reason why I think that's important is because if he's going to devour all the sins, and if he's going to devour all the orc sin, then that means you're taking on responsibility for all the orcs that are under his command, right? At the end of the episode, once the Orc Lord Geld died, right? After he devoured Geld, the other orcs were all like humane, like they were back to normal. They were talking, you know, my king has gotten peace, you know. But what happens to all these rest of these orcs just staring around looking, you know? Like, what are they gonna do? Are they just gonna go back to being the random orcs that don't come together that was mentioned a few episodes ago? I don't think so. I think honestly they're going to go under Rimuru's protection or leadership in the same manner as the goblins, in the same manner as the ogres, in the same manner as the wolves. So now he can get orcs. He might not, but I think it would be really nice if he actually did get the orcs, because he would actually be taking the sins on, like he said, of the Orc Lord and the orc people. Do you think that the orcs are actually going to join his force or not? But the thing is, if the orcs actually join forces with Rimuru, do you know how much of an army Rimuru will have? That's the only reason I think that that won't happen. But I really could see that happening, and if so, he becomes a bigger threat not only to the Demon Lords, because he has more soldiers, more units, more people to command. He becomes a bigger threat to the humans outside of the Great Forest. Because think about it, like, you know what I mean, if you're leading all these powerful units, which were shown by, like, you know, we saw Beanie Maru turning up, we saw all the ogres, we saw them just going in, we saw Ranga using his powerful hurricanes, like, it was kind of crazy. Like, his group they just ran through all the orcs easily, the forces, without any issue. And they were just boasting on Rimuru's name, saying this is just the start. So the thing is, what do you all think is going to happen to the orcs? I'm genuinely curious what your predictions are. I think they're going to go under Rimuru's force and be protected by him, further expanding his power, his villages, etc. The reason why I think that happens, because if you're going to take on the sins, that means you're taking on the people. So I feel like that would be the logical thing to do next. And the other key point I want to talk on, this may be a bold prediction, but Gelman, which was killed by the Orc Lord, that was a nice touch. I like that because that powered him up and made him as powerful, or more powerful. I wouldn't say as powerful as a Demon Lord, but the point, Gelman wanted to name all of these people, like Gabiru, he wanted to name ogres, he wanted to name all these people so they can get strong and be devoured by Geld to eventually turn him from an Orc Lord to a Demon Lord, right? So he wanted to create a Demon Lord. So one can assume in this world, to create a Demon Lord, you need to get a being that continues to get powerful, more powerful. You know what I mean? Just keep gaining power, right? And he eventually, at some point, gets either the title. I'm thinking the title Demon Lord, and we'll get on titles in a second. But at least he gets the power of a Demon Lord to become a Demon Lord. Now let's go back to Ranga. Ranga was a basic wolf, and when he was named, he became a Tempest Wolf, right? So I'm thinking at some point the Orc Lord would have continued to amass power until he went from an Orc Lord to a Demon Lord. Now, maybe that Demon Lord position actually changes his physique, so he can be like the Demon Lord that we saw earlier, or the Demon Lord that was alluded to in the episode that was watching and keep his eye on the battle. Maybe he would have stayed an Orc, I don't know. The reason I find this so important is because his starved ability, getting power from devouring things, and Rimuru's predator ability, doing the exact same thing, they're doing the same thing, right? So logically, if Rimuru continues to devour other enemies, devour the Orc Lord, which he did, I don't know where those powers went or how they will manifest, but as Rimuru continues to devour more and more things, will Rimuru himself actually become a Demon Lord? That's my big prediction. And once Rimuru actually evolves, in a sense, to become a Demon Lord, then he becomes a threat, not only to humans saying, hey, that's the new Demon Lord of the forest, he becomes another threat to the other Demon Lord, especially the one that we are hunting for revenge. So what do you all think? But I think ultimately this alludes, this entire to episode 13 and episode 14 was trying to allude that Rimuru at some point, as he continues to gain powers, grow powers, develop powers, will be a Demon Lord, if not already at that level to be that powerful. What do you all think? That's my big prediction for this, which is why I find both these episodes really, really good, because I think that's what it ultimately can lead to. And the other only two thoughts I have is, one, I'm going to hop back to Gabiru. What do you think his role will be in the series? We've seen him fight the Orc General in this episode, right? Or episode 13, right? And we saw he really, as nice as he was, he really didn't do too much. It looked cool, but he really didn't. Like, will he go into Rimuru's village? Will they maintain the alliance and become friends? Will he power up under Rimuru and ask for mentorship? Like, I really don't see where... It's kind of funny. Every time I Gabiru, I kind of don't see what can happen next or what they'll write in next. Will he just command the lizards to be friends with them? Or is this kind of his part where they're like, all right, you are cool for now. We're just going to kind of bring you around here and there. Like the leader of the goblins, you know, like we see him here and there, but he's not playing an active fighting role. I don't see Gabiru as a amazing fighter playing major role in the series, but maybe he's there for just comic relief, to be around. You know, I just feel like his fighting strength isn't on par, but maybe we'll bring him around sometimes for like the laughs of the series. I don't know. Where do you think he kind of goes next? I would like if he trains under Gapta to learn some new abilities or something, or improve, but I just kind of don't know where he's going next. So my prediction, maybe he'll ask for mentorship in Rimuru's village, but he's just that comic relief, silly character all around. I don't know. What do you think? And here's the other thing. In episode 13, the Demon Lord was shown with a crystal ball that could see everything that was happening, but he wasn't shown in episode 14, right? So that means that, like, you know, he keeps his eye on it. And episode 13, despite Rimuru's allies attacking, like we saw Ranga going through the orcs, we saw the ogres getting revenge and blowing everything up, he didn't seem phased at all. That man, like, was just there smiling at the window. So I wonder, did his reaction change in episode 14, or is he still like, oh, okay, that's a powerful being, I'll handle that later. Like, I'm very curious as to see how he reacted, how he feels now that his plan was technically ruined by Rimuru. I don't know. So that's my thoughts on episode 13 and 14. Would love to hear your feedback, would love to hear your thoughts. I kept it short and straight to the point. And just, you know, let's get back to it and let's see this great episode actually tomorrow at 11:30 Eastern. So, yo, hope you enjoyed the review. I'll do my best to grind out videos in between schoolwork, streaming. I stream every day at twitch.tv/data_Dave, to where we've even talked about this anime and the plenty of others that have came up, because there's been a lot of cool stuff like Promised Neverland. There's been the Rise of the Shield Hero. I think I might do reviews on both of those. Maybe Promised, I don't know, but that thing was, you just watch it. And I love the basis of the Rise of Shielding Hero, you know what I'm saying, the Shield Hero. But with that being said, have a good night, good morning, whatever time it is. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the support, every view, everybody commenting, I appreciate it. Y'all, see you all later. Have a good evening. Have a great one. See you later. Thanks for tuning in.